Hello BookTube, I'm Shawn the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a joint review between myself and Ange of Beyond the Pages of this novel, Helen Humphreys' latest novel, Autumn 2018, Machine Without Horses. We thought it might be fun for each of us to film a short 1-minute video anticipating the other person's reaction or feelings about the book before we sit down in about 2 hours and film our joint review. And we are going to be going into this without having disclosed anything to each other about our thoughts. We thought, initially we thought just before we might do this, or this, but we've scrapped that idea in favor of just filming a quick, fun little anticipation. So, here's mine. First of all, my reaction. I was bitterly, deeply disappointed by this novel. I think it's a 1-star read for me. Maybe Ange will talk me up to a 2. But I can't quite say that I hated the book. I hated how boring it was. So that's the same thing, really. I don't think Ange will end up having loved this book, but she might like it more than I did. Ange and I have done umpteen buddy reads, and we have rarely disagreed. We usually have quite similar tastes. However, there are books that she's read that I've seen on Goodreads or I've seen her talk about on her channel that I hated and she loved. So it does happen. It's just never happened in a buddy read. So this is awkward. Our first, face-to-face meeting, and what if maybe she loved it and I really thought it was completely unsuccessful, and I'll get into why. So it's going to be a very interesting video. I hope it'll be the most fun will be if we both hated it. Or if she liked it a little more than me, that's comfortable. But if she loved it and I hated it, we have a good, strong friendship. And I will not be combative about my opinions, but I will express them. It'll be an interesting discussion, whatever happens. Here we go. Next up, Ange's reaction video. And then our first meeting.
Hi guys, it's Ange, and I think Shawn already introduced what we were going to do in this part, so I'm just going to say that I absolutely loved the book. I loved how it was written. I loved how we got to go into the author's mind and see how they go through the process of writing a book, and I just, really adored it. I don't have much else to say, except that I think Shawn will love it too. He may love all the fish metaphors, or he may not. I'm not sure about that, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really great writing. I loved the characters, and I just loved the concept of the book. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Hello BookTube, I'm Shawn the Book Maniac, and welcome back to Beyond the Pages. I'm here with Ange. It's so fabulous. We've just had a lovely day already. How are you doing?
Very well.
Yes.
I think we had a very nice morning so far.
We did. I've bought more books than you though.
You did? Oh.
But we'll talk about that in another video. This is a joint review of the Helen Humphreys novel published in the autumn of 2018, Machine Without Horses. I've been waiting with bated breath to talk about this with Ange because we have not discussed anything. We have no idea.
We still don't know.
Yeah. We thought maybe we would do preliminary just before we turned the video on, and we've decided not to even do that. And so you will have seen our prediction, 1-minute prediction videos of each other.
Mine was like 20 seconds.
Oh, and mine was 2 minutes. I got more into your mind than you got into mine.
I think I mentioned 2 things or something, and that was it.
We just came from having coffee where we admitted that we're a little nervous about how this might go if we deeply disagree.
Yeah.
Because we have never deeply disagreed on any of our buddy reads.
No, we haven't. We haven't. Never.
But we don't think we're probably going to deeply disagree.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
So shall we start this? So we start this video with the hand.
Yeah, ready?
So. Like okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, this is gonna be fun.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe I would disagree.
How many stars did you give it? Or will you give it?
About a 4.
Okay.
Okay, what would you give it?
Maybe 1.
Wow.
But I said in my prediction that maybe I'll let you talk me up.
Like it.
I thought you might like it in a 3-star way.
Oh, okay.
So here we go.
I really, really liked it.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. I thought you wouldn't like it because of the fish metaphors that were in there. Especially the last line, how she compares a lot of the second part of the book to fishy things, to the salmon life.
I didn't have a particular problem with the metaphor. No. I just thought it was one of the most boring books I've ever read.
Really? I found it really interesting.
That's fabulous.
I didn't think I would find salmon fishing and making of those flies to be interesting, but I enjoyed it.
Well, it really worked for you. That's great.
It did.
Yeah, it's got a really high rating on Goodreads.
Does it?
It's 4 point
wow.
something.
And you didn't.
I thought it was as dull as ditch water. I was so disappointed.
I flew through it though.
Oh, it was a quick read.
In two sittings, but I read it so quickly because I loved it.
Oh wow! Okay, well here we go. Is our friendship going to survive this video?
No, I don't think I can talk to you anymore.
So it's a very interesting structure because the first half of the book.
That's what I liked most about it, though, the structure.
How would you describe the first half?
A woman trying to decide how to write this book about the famous fly maker. What was her name again?
Megan Boyd.
Megan Boyd.
Megan Boyd.
That's right.
And she is an actual real life person.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Did you check that going in?
No, I didn't. I didn't know what it was about before I went in.
Did you finish the novel before you realized it was a real person, or did you ever?
I finished the novel and then I realized it was a real person.
No, you realized. Okay.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed how she went through the thought process of what an author would do to make a real life into a fiction story. I really, really liked that, and there was a few phrases in there that I loved.
I thought there was a few things in the first few pages that I thought were really nice. Nice writing.
I liked this. The beginning of a life is often the start of a story. Character is formed from early incidents and accidents, from sudden trauma or reassuring constancy. I really liked that. So I remember circling that in my book. And there was a few other ones that I liked. But I don't know if you did the same.
Did you take the first half to be straight memoir, like everything here was about Helen Humphreys, or was it somehow a fictionalization of what a writer might...
I didn't think it was Helen Humphreys. I just thought it was a fictionalized writer. Then in the end I read a few things about it and found out that like her brother had died as well, and her brother had died in this. That's and so I was wondering whether it was actually Helen Humphreys in the first part. What did you think?
I couldn't decide, and I still can't decide, but yes, just like you said, Helen Humphrey's brother died, and she's written a memoir about that.
I don't know if she has a dog, though, because in this, she was a very...
much of a dog person.
Yeah. But I like dogs as well, so I'm a dog person, too.
I just didn't feel any of it, none of it really came alive for me. And to compare it to this...
I don't think it compares to this at all.
The Lost Garden, which we both loved. Yeah, one of the best books I read in 2017, maybe.
Same with me. Although 2018, I read it in.
Yes.
I don't think it compared at all to that, but I still really enjoyed Machines.
She's trying to do something very different here, and for me it didn't work at all.
It worked for me.
It worked for you, and it worked for most. Like I had a long talk with Lindy last night. She loved it. My mum didn't like it.
Oh, really?
So she gave it to me as a Christmas present, and she read my gift before she gave it to me.
Wow.
And she didn't tell me at the time.
Okay, so she didn't tell you if she liked it or not.
But I sent her a message last week, and I was saying, I've read half of this, and it's so boring. And she said, yeah, I don't know what she thought she was trying to do, but it didn't work for me.
Oh, okay.
But Mum and I are in the minority, because when I go on Goodreads...
There's a lot of positive reviews, yeah.
The only thing where I felt a real connection to the story was the death scene at the end.
Yeah, I liked that.
I thought that was really well done.
I also liked the relationship between the woman and in the end, the second part, with the other woman. I can't remember, Evelyn.
I think so.
Was that her name?
Yeah.
I liked that, Ruth and Evelyn. I liked that friendship and relationship between those two.
And I didn't feel...
but with the relationship between the man and the woman in that part, I didn't like that.
I didn't think it took off.
That wasn't really... I didn't think that was a very good part of the story.
And the lesbian relationship to me didn't ever come off the page either, other than when she comes to see her in the
Yeah,
the end.
that's
was
what
like,
I really, really
yeah,
liked.
yeah.
That,
Up
yeah.
until then, I never felt it was beyond a cliche.
Okay.
And I felt the comments about the writing process were a little bit bland for me.
Oh, really? I really enjoyed that.
I'm glad.
Oh, well, I found this chapter kind of strange.
Sure, but also it had a certain power. So it's a word repeated about the cause of death for all the people that she's lost, and it was cancer every time. I would have liked to read a memoir or a novel about this woman's loss.
Yeah, that would have been. I think that would have been interesting as well.
Sure.
Yeah. So we have disagreed.
We do. So, because, flippantly, and this is probably what's going to go into my Goodreads review, she spends 20 pages talking about the impossibility of writing an interesting novel about a woman who did nothing but make salmon flies her whole life.
Really interesting, though.
And then she writes a novel to prove her point. It wasn't interesting at all. It was so boring.
I really enjoyed it.
I
really liked that she was kind of friends with the Prince Charles as well.
Oh, that was interesting.
That was really interesting.
That was interesting.
Okay, so you liked that.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
But this woman didn't do anything other than make Megan Boyd.
Megan Boyd, yep. Other than make fly.
For 60 years, she lived in this bare-bones cottage in a small village in Scotland, and all she did was make, what are they called?
Flies?
Salmon flies.
Salmon flies, yeah.
The things that catch the
fish.
eye of the salmon so that the fishermen can catch them. And that's all she did. And it's really hard to make that interesting. And for me, it wasn't interesting. Now,
I found it really
that's great.
interesting.
Now, the flies were beautiful. Did you went on to Google? They're gorgeous.
I looked at them because I was like, what the hell are
I
these?
looked up everyone.
Yeah.
But the life of a woman who did nothing but that and her inner life, and then to add relationships that were fictionalized.
Yeah, that was but I really enjoyed. Yeah, I really enjoyed the relationship between Evelyn and Ruth in the end.
And she cross-dressed.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
She wore her
dad's
clothes, and she'd go to the Scottish dances. And
the skirts
do the male parts.
Didn't like that.
It was interesting, but there just wasn't enough to make a novel. It just wasn't. I mean, this was just such a throbbingly alive story.
Yeah.
And so compared to it, this for me was a disappointment. So you're just wrong.
Okay, well, you're wrong too. But I also liked the fact that she just lived this such remote life as well. Because I find that so terribly interesting as well. And that she would just sit there and look out onto this lake. I don't know. I just find that idyllic. And I don't know. Maybe that's why I liked it so much as well, because I like this quiet sort of life.
And this part of the conversation is just twigging something for me, which is that I really struggle. I don't like Robinson Crusoe type stories where there's just one person, no relationships.
Oh, okay.
That
like
kind of a novel,
yeah.
I can't, doesn't hold my interest. So I think that's part of what my problem was. So that's very interesting. That
although
maybe
I didn't like Robinson Crusoe. I didn't like that book.
There's a Canadian novel called... the name is gone, but anyway, and it's about Newfoundland. There's a small island, and the government just doesn't have enough money to keep the tiny village of people that are still living, so they pay them to move to the mainland. It's not mainland, but to the island. It's called mid. I'll put it in here because it's
okay.
and one guy refuses to leave, and so after everybody but him leaves and he's alone on the island, I fell asleep for the last 60 pages because those kind of stories, man against the elements, or just no human relationships.
It reminds me of The Light Keepers by something Jedi. What's her name? It's The Light Keepers. I will tell you what it is, and you can put it up here.
Okay. Or we'll just edit out our brain farts from the video.
could do that.
But yeah, I think that's part of why I didn't love it. So if you like weird stories like my weird friend Ange, maybe you would like this book. She's done a very good job of selling it, I think. And she hasn't convinced me. I think this was a 1-star read for me.
Oh, fair enough. 4 stars for me, I think.
4 stars? Mm-hmm. Looking forward to reading another. We're going to be buddy reading
yes.
1 or 2 more this week.
The Reinvention of Love.
That's right.
And Evening Chorus. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. So I got 2 of them.
I hope I like those better.
I reckon you will. Because they're historical fiction. And that one was historical fiction. The Lost Garden. So you might like that.
Well, that was fun, and we didn't kill each other.
You're
surprising.
I was surprised that you didn't like it.
Yeah, no, I was really bored by it. Yeah.
Did you like the writing though?
No.
Not at all.
Well, just a couple things at the beginning, and then the ending scene, I thought. And there was just so much of it that was, I thought, she's trying to be profound about the writing process, and it's like, really? No. It's
all right.
Banal. All right.
We should do
better
this
luck
again.
next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time I'll come to Australia for the weekend. And
yes.
We can continue our
feud. We can do this on the beach next time, hey?
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching.